what you just witnessed in the opening clip of this video is what we like to refer to down here in South Florida as the dead of winter. We are still at home, folks. Welcome back, by the way. Welcome back to the channel. We are still at home here in South Florida, where we just went through a little cold spell. We were freezing down here in Florida. I think it went down to a brisk 56 degrees. We reached 56 degrees down here in Florida. So, you know, for us down here, let's pull out the parka. It's cold. It's cold. You know, it's kind of funny because I see people that are traveling out there, people that I follow on YouTube, and some folks and some forums. I read in some forums where people are having issues with pipes freezing and tanks on their RVs freezing. And, you know, I got to hand it to them. The fact that they're out there doing it in that type of weather, I mean, it's admirable. I enjoy camping. I like RVing. We have RV'd in severe weather, in cold weather, once or twice. I will tell you this. I learned one thing from it real quickly. It's not my thing. We're not into that. So that's why we come home for the winter. I mean, I wish it was a little cooler. I wish home wasn't 80 degrees in mid-January, but it is what it is, or actually February. It's still in the 80s. Today it's actually not bad. Today it's 77 degrees. But how those people do it, how you guys out there in RV world do it, I have no idea, but kudos to you guys. All right, so as promised, today is going to be a short video. I did promise you guys, I know that I had a few projects going on, back-to-back projects. Some of them were RV related, some were house related. I did promise you guys that I would bring you finished products or updates, okay? Updates on some of these projects, because some at the time that I posted them, they weren't really completed because of one issue or another. So I did promise that I was going to bring you guys an update, and that's what this video is about today. Today is going to be a quick video. I'm going to bring you guys up to speed on some of those projects, and I'm also going to share with you guys huge changes in season number 4. You know, Myrna and I discussed it a little bit, more Myrna than me. I was more leaning towards the other, but I'll explain to you guys a little bit more on that. We have some huge changes for season number 4. Basically, we're going to become weekend warriors. I'm going to share with you guys at the end of this video, so stick around. Okay, so first up on the updates, the project updates, I take you guys back to, remember the damage on the left rear or driver's side of the coach where I hit the fence? I know that I finished that project. The video is completed. The sticker was put on, or the graphics were installed. But well, the one part that I left off is because I didn't have the caulking at the time. Caulking at the time was the very rear end, the rear back strip, which, if you guys remember in a few previous videos, I used a rubberized spray because that area flexes a lot for some reason or another, and it always cracks. But I went ahead and finished it. This is the finished product. I mean, it came out as good as it originally came out. I mean, it got damaged when I hit the fence. The fence actually scraped along the backside, and it kind of moved that little the strip out. I had to bend it back into place, and I had to reapply the caulking. But that project is now finished. I mean, no big deal, not to waste too much time there, but I did tell you I was going to bring you guys an update. There it is. That job, that's finished. Okay, next up is the fridge, the refrigerator project. I know you guys, I can't remember if it was project number 6 or 5, one of those involved the refrigerator. When we were in North Carolina during season number 3, the trip from wherever we were at to North Carolina, there's a strap that goes along the refrigerator. And I'll kind of show you guys a little bit of a picture here. I know it's kind of, you really can't tell, or you really can't see it, but there's a strap that basically holds the refrigerator in place in the slide. Now that bracket has 2 screws, one on the left, one on the right. It also has a screw in the middle, which is where you screw in the knob to hold the door so they don't fly open while you're in transit. but the two bolts that are on the sides are basically, it's the you know, the little clip there is very flimsy. Make a long story short, it broke. So the way that I fixed that is my welding video. I showed you guys in the welding video. I actually welded the pieces there, and I told you at the time that it came out perfect. It did. It came out great. However, I did tell you guys that if everything went smooth, you wouldn't hear back. But if I'm here telling you guys now, it's obviously because something went wrong. What happened was, on our trip from North Carolina to we went from North Carolina, to Florida. The right side held perfectly, but the left side broke again. Now, I attribute it maybe a little bit to the lack of knowledge as far as welding is concerned, but also it was such a small little area that I knew that, you know, that refrigerator, when it's loaded, it's several hundred pounds. I knew that that wasn't going to hold. So the way that I fixed it is I figured, let me wait to get home. And then what I did is I bought a piece of rod, okay, like you guys see here. And what I did is I cut a smaller piece and I bent it around the existing bracket. So I tack welded the existing bracket back. Well, first of all, I sanded everything down, you know, took all the paint off and stuff like that. And I tack welded the piece back into place. Once I had it done, I took the metal rod, laid a small piece over it, clamped it in place, and then went ahead and welded that rod all the way around. And now it is solid. It is solid. I doubt I'm going to have any more issues. You know, even though the right side hung in there, I went ahead and did the right side as well. I did both sides just to make sure that I wouldn't have an issue on that. So that project, as far as I'm concerned, that's a wrap. That one's done. I wanted to mention it to you guys because, you know, I did it, but it didn't hold. It didn't hold, so I fixed it, and I wanted to share it with you guys. While on that topic, again, for me, welding is something new. I'm just learning how to do it. I had a reader or a viewer on my YouTube page comment that the goggles that I was using were not necessarily goggles for welding or the type of welding that I was doing. He mentioned a few other things that I'm not really familiar with it. Acetylene welding or something like that. He did mention something. I was very appreciative of him for sharing the information with me. Trust me, if you guys put something in the comments, as long as you're not disrespectful or just a flat out jerk, you know, I like the comments. If people have opinions that they'd like to share with me, that's fine. I mean, I'm just as new at this as anybody else. So anything that people share with me, if it's good, I use it. I mean, it's valuable information. This gentleman advised me that the goggles that I were using weren't good, and I was actually, it was kind of dangerous. So what did I do? I went out and ordered myself a real welding helmet. So I'm now doing it correctly, I hope. All right, another project that had nothing to do with the RV. It was the house. You guys remember we were victimized while we were out in season 3. We were in Nashville, as a matter of fact. We were victimized. My back door was broken. I finally finished it. I finally replaced the glass, replaced the trim, caulked everything correctly, and the door is painted. Everything is up to date. So that project is done. Okay, I think it was the last video. The last video, I think I shared with you guys the issues that I had with the water heater. One thing that I left off of that video, the water heater area, there is the gas tube that comes from inside the coach that has a rubber seal. Suburban made sure to tell me that once I replaced that, to make sure and put a good amount, don't be skimpy, a good amount of caulking around there, because you definitely do not want any of the gases from the burning from the hot water heater, the gases coming back into your coach. So I went ahead and did that. And also on the bottom of the water heater, if you guys remember, I mentioned to you guys when I was taking it apart that there was water down there, and I didn't like that. and the caulking wasn't really doing the job the way it was supposed to. So what did I do? I figured, you know what? I have some Eternabond tape that we use for the roof. Okay, if I put some Eternabond tape down at the bottom, I would be able to stop any water, because I go up the side or the back side. I'll be able to stop any water from seeping in through that crack and fix the problem once and for all. So that's a quick update on the water heater. By the way, it's working great, but I decided to use a little bit of Eternabond tape to basically shore up the bottom of the water heater. And I'll be honest with you, it looks a lot better. It looks a lot cleaner than a big glob of caulking, and I believe it's going to work fine. Okay, so this next bit of information is not necessarily a project that I shared with you guys. It's more of one of those things that just hounded me. It was just a small thing that hounded me. These RVs, when they're put together in the factory, you know, they work in volume. They need to get those RVs in, get them on the assembly line, and get them out. Well, you know, the compartment doors around the RV and anywhere that takes caulking, they just, you know, put a bead of caulking on there, run their finger through it and spread it out. It looks pretty, it looks nice, it's clear, and it looks good when it's in the factory. But what happens? You bring your coach out, and if you're like me, you like keeping the coach clean, you're always, you know, you're washing it. But no matter how much you wash it, okay, the caulking lines, every time, you know, every time the RV gets dirty, those caulking lines little by little start getting darker and darker and dirty. And then is when they get dirty is when you really can tell, you know, where they ran their fingers through. I mean, you guys can see it right here. It just doesn't look to me, it just didn't look clean. It was something that just ate at me and bothered me. So, you know, I'm home. I'm trying to stay busy. I'm trying to do things to keep busy. And this is one of those things that just drove me nuts. So what did I do? I took all the caulking off, all the doors, which was a pain in the butt. Trust me, the taking of the caulking off was the worst part of it all. I went ahead and I taped. Okay, I taped the areas that I wanted to caulk. I used the RV caulking that was recommended. I redid all the compartment doors, and then I took the caulking off. And you know, it looks a lot cleaner. It looks very, very detailed, and I like it. It was just something that was eating up at me. I'm sure some of you guys are thinking, "Oh my God, why would he go through all that?" Well, I went through all that because it just bothered me. It just bothered me to see it dirty, and I changed it. I fixed it. I pulled the old caulking off, and I put new stuff. It's just the way I am. All right, so that's it. That's it on projects. That's it on up to dates. I don't have any more. Everything that was out there, not finished, I shared with you guys. So that's it. That's it on that. But so moving right along. I did allude in one of my previous videos. I think I did. I'm not sure if I mentioned it. We attended the Tampa RV show this year in January, like a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago. We were in Tampa for the RV show. We go just about every year. I mean, we're home, so we might as well go. We weren't shopping for anything, but we like to go because we like to see manufacturers, new stuff that's on the market. I mean, the topic or the hot topic of this year's RV show was the Brinkley RVs. They are pretty nice. They are pretty nice. The company looks like they take a lot of pride in their product. We visited. I'm not sure if you guys want to see a video on that. We did a video on the Brinkley factory. We did a walkthrough. They were very, very nice to us. They let me take pictures and stuff like that. Good company. They were the talk of the RV show. We visited them again. We actually met the young man that did the tour for us in Indiana. He was here in Florida, but that was it. I mean, Brinkley's an up-and-coming company. I highly recommend you guys look into it if you're in the market. No, I don't get paid anything from Brinkley. We have a Montana. We're not going away from the Montana, not until I drive this bad boy into the ground. But Brinkley is a good product. If you're in the market for an RV, highly recommend you stay with the major companies, with the bigger brands. Brinkley's up and coming, so you might want to check them out. Staying on the topic of the RV show. So if you guys have never been to the RV show, highly recommend it. Either Tampa, Hershey, Pennsylvania is a big one also. I highly recommend it. What we like and what we enjoy the most, Myrna and I, is the vendor areas. There's two of them. There's A and B, I believe. And they talk about all kinds of different things, and some of the new campgrounds are in there giving away free stays and stuff like that. And one of the things that you see at these vendor areas is products to, whether it be cleaning products, oils, different things to use, for your brakes, to clean the brakes, to clean this, to clean that. They have everything. So one of the projects that we keyed in on, and it was recommended by my buddy Vic, who was also at the RV show, was with us, was a product called Reliable cleaning products. They had a booth there. I went by, talked to the gentleman. Very, very informative. I mean, good guy. Cleaners. The sky's the limit. The sky's the limit with choices and stuff like that. I like what they had to offer. I saw a few little things. They did a few little demonstrations. One of the things that they really, really push or brag on is the fact that if you've been around RVs long enough, you know that no matter how much you do to keep your RVs clean, you're always going to get those annoying black strips, especially if you have like a white coach. You get those white stains, those black stains on the white RV or the light color RVs, and they're really a pain in the butt. Well, they assured me that this product, even diluted, that this product would work. I was a little skeptical, but nonetheless, I bought the product. It was $10 a bottle. It was $10 a gallon for a spray bottle. And on the last day of the show, I'm not going to say what I got, but I got a deal. So I bought a few, and I came back home, tried it on the roof. It worked good on the roof. Wasn't great because the roof gets really, really dirty. And, you got to be careful up there. There's really not, you can't be doing a lot of scrubbing and stuff like that with these rubber membranes. But I tried it on some of the black streaks on the coach. And let me tell you, it worked like a charm. In the past, I've done Simply Green. I've done all types of waxes, cleaners, and I'm also a little bit skeptical on certain things because I don't want to ruin the laminate on the RVs. But this Reliable product worked very much as described. I'm not gonna lie. Again, I'm not a salesman for Reliable products. It's just, I've mentioned it in the past, I like sharing information with you guys in case you're in the market to look for something. If somebody already did the homework for you, then it's a win. It's a win for everybody. This product, Reliable product, worked great for the black streaks and made my life a whole lot easier. Okay, so that's it. That's it on update on projects. That's it on the RV show. Finally, what some of you guys have probably been waiting for, season number 4. Okay, season number 4. If you guys have been following our channel, you know that we did. Season 1 was like 4 months. Season 2 was 7.5 months. Season 3 was 4 months with a cut in the middle because we had to come back because my daughter got sick. Season 4 is going to be a little bit different. Okay, season 4, because our daughter is home and because our daughter is working and she's currently waiting to see if she can get into veterinary school, which, let me tell you something, not an easy feat, but I've already mentioned it, not going to beat a dead horse, no pun intended. Not an easy feat for her. She's really struggling. She applied to a bunch of schools. She's waiting. It's very difficult to get into vet school, but that was the number one reason why we decided to do season 4 a little bit different. So what are we doing different? Well, I'll tell you right now. Instead of picking up and leaving for 5-6 months as originally planned, we're not doing that. We're going to become for lack of a better word, season 4, we're becoming weekend warriors. So what do I mean by that? I'll give you a brief, because it's still changing. It's changing every minute. I'll give you an idea of what we're doing. So we are right now in early February. In middle of February, I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to be gone to Wisconsin for a week. I'm doing a do-it-yourself project. You're not going to want to miss that. I'm actually going to videotape it. I'm actually going to share it with you guys. He's building an addition on his house, and I'm doing, yes, me, yours truly, I'm doing all the water, I'm doing all the electrical, and I'm doing basically all the interior work in that addition that he's building, and I'm going to share it with you guys. Even if it's time-lapse, I've seen time lapses of people doing that, and I think it's kind of cool. So I'm going to go ahead and video it. So that's mid-February, and then in the the first week or so of March, Myrna and I are going on a Caribbean cruise. Okay, so it's not going to be retired and rolling; it's going to be retired and cruising. But we're going to go on a cruise. We've been actually looking forward to it. We've done a bunch of cruises in the past, but we haven't done one since COVID and that whole farce. Never mind. That whole thing. We haven't done a cruise since then, but we're really looking forward to it. So that's like the first week of March. Now, later on in March, I want to say around the 20th or 21st of March, because we have to be in Indiana on the 26th, we're going to head out. We're going to head out, and we're going to head up to Indiana. Now, I know it's probably going to be cold still. I'm hoping it's not freezing, but we're going to head up to Indiana. We're going to go up to Affinity Group. We're going to have a little bit of work done, still warranty work done on the front of the coach. So we're going to make maybe a two-week camping experience out of it. I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to snow, but I am looking forward to a little colder weather. So we're going to head up there, and that's going to be trial. It's going to be a hit and miss. We don't know how long we're going to be at Affinity, so we don't know how long we're going to be on the road. But I'm guesstimating about 2 weeks. So maybe late March into early April, we're going to be heading out there to take care of that. And then right after that, we're going to come back home. Now, we're going to be home for about 21 days, and then in mid or late April, we're going to head out again. I mentioned to you guys the RV show, and I mentioned to you guys that vendors and different campgrounds, we're doing promotions. We're going to try out a campground that's up here in Central Florida. It's not new, or I don't think it's new, but they were making offers and stuff like that. So we went ahead and we took it. We took the offer. I think it's April something or other. We're going to be up in Central Florida. I will tell you something about camping in Florida. Obviously, we live here. We live in Florida, and it happens to be the state where we've probably camped the least. Okay? We normally leave Florida or South Florida right around March every year, around March or April, and we head away from Florida. What happens is that because we're gone, we don't do any camping in Florida. The only time that we're here in Florida is during the winter season. Well, guess what happens during the winter season in Florida? All the snowbirds come down, and just about every campground is booked, for obvious reasons. But since we're going to be in Florida this year, we're going to do a little camping in Florida. We're going to start off, or we're going to try out that campground in Central Florida. And, whatever we do there, we'll share with you guys. That's around, I want to say that's like late April. And then in May, we're going to do something that we've been talking about for a while, and we've never done it because, again, we're home for the winter. Winter happens to be the high season for camping in the Keys, in the Florida Keys. Well, we're here. We're here for the summer. It's probably going to be hot. I made reservations. We're staying at a campground that we've been eyeballing. We've been eyeballing it for a couple of years now, but we're never here during the time that we could take advantage of it. And the owner of the campground is a friend of ours. She notified us and said, hey, because she has people that camp there year-round, rent 2-3 years in advance. Since we're retired, as you guys know, and we're going to be in Florida, and we have the option to just pick up and go. She called me and she told me, hey, I have this week available. Do you want it? Of course, I didn't hesitate. I jumped right on it. So it's in May. You're going to want to stay tuned to that one. It's a good campground. There ain't that many of them in Key West. There's a bunch of stuff in the Keys, in the Florida Keys, but Key West, there ain't that many campgrounds. So you're going to want to stay tuned to that one. I'll share with you guys that. So that's coming up around late May. Then in June, we're going to do a little camping in another campground that we also got the information at the RV. It's in Georgia. Then we'll come back and do a little Florida. And then after June, July, basically, it can go either way. It could just go in many directions. We don't know yet. But that's the update. That's the update on Season 4. That's what I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If I get anything else, if I get any updates, and I happen to have a video here and there, I will share it with you guys. But that's it for now. That's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned to the channel. You're not going to want to miss the Wisconsin do-it-yourself project. That's gonna probably be kind of interesting. And definitely Key West. Definitely Key West. Keep your eyes open for that one. That's going to be a pretty good video. Until then, guys, thank you again for tuning into our channel. We appreciate you guys watching, and safe travels.